just this one. Okay. So I'll give you a second to bring out your watercolors and some brushes as well, different sizes, and then also a cup or a little plate to put some water in. All right, so I have grabbed a tissue, or you can grab anything that you can wipe your brushes clean with. Um, and then I have just a cup of water to rinse my brushes as we are coloring our final scene for the water bridge landscape. Yeah. And I have the reference image. I'll throw it up again. Just from a magazine. So you see a lot of blues. This is a very light washed blue. You see a lot of greens as well. There's some red and orange in there. I'll bring it up closer. And then we have the bridge, which is a solid black at the top, but then fades to a blue as a reflection. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to continue with our sky. And if we have time in this 1 hour and 30 minute lesson, what we will do is start another watercolor landscape project, or I will just ask you what you're in the mood to do, and we'll go from there. Because we do have a lot of time to start something else. Now, so what I will do is dip my brush into some water and just pat it dry just a little bit, and then dip my brush into some blue. But making sure I have more water on my paper so it can be diluted. Just wetting my paper. Now, you would have erased your pencil lines, but I will keep my pencil lines so that way they're visible on camera what sections of the painting I'm completing. Okay, now that I have dipped my sky into with some water, I will go lightly with a little wash of blue. Just very lightly, just a hint of it. And I'm just painting side by side. So see how this is darker than the other shades? What I'll add is just more water to wash it out to help evenly distribute it. All right. So far, we just have the basic colors on our paper. We're just doing the foundation and then we'll build up from there. Let me just put this into the picture. Then what I will do is color in the darker trees. So I'll clean my brush again and wipe it clean from any blue that it might still have on the brush. If you have many other brushes, you can just, use new brushes instead of cleaning them. Um, Whatever works for you is fine. Okay. So now I will continue with our little lake situation and continue with the light blue that I've used. So far, I haven't colored in any of the reflections or made it muddied water. Make sure that your brush is very wet when you're dipping it into the palette. So you can see with the reflection of the light where the water is that I'm placing. So far, I'm just starting with water on my paper and then going back in with some color. So far, I've just been coloring in the lake, trying to work around the leafless trees and the reflection of the shoreline. Again, you can see where I have placed the water first, and then I'll go in back with my color. That's too dark, so I'll add more water to diffuse it. if you feel that you have used too much water on your paper, you'll start to see it wrinkle. What you can do is just grab your tissue and take away just by placing it, take away the water by placing it on the paper, and it'll start to dry up again. All right. And now we will have to color in the water through these triangles, both here on the top and the bottom, which will take some time. Also, remember the trick that I showed you that if you have any pencil colors, what you can do is use them um, to, like, as a different form of water paint. Like, you can dissolve the pencil tip and it will start to color on your watercolor paper. All right, I will just give you a minute to catch up. All that we did was just color the lake and go in between the bridge and color the sky with a light wash of blue. You just, there you go. All right, so after that, what we will do is we will work on this little patch of land. So with that being said, I will clean my brush. All right, once my brush is clean, I will lay down some water. So what I'm using, the green is lighter than the other greens that we're using. It matches this one for the field. And right now we haven't done any shading or, you know, um, deepening any of our trees, and that's fine. We still have to. Now, what we will do is we will color in the shoreline and the reflection of the trees, of these trees. And it's significantly lighter than this color, this deep green color, almost gray. Um, so what we will do is we will use a different green. But first, laying down some water just so our colors can spread evenly. All right, I will leave this image so you can catch up with the painting to see if there are any other colors you need to mix or change up. Um, I'll give you 2 minutes to see what other things you can color in to catch up, and then we'll move on to the bridge and the trees. All right. Now what we will do is we will move on to our bridge. So our bridge on the top part is darker than it is on the bottom. Um, so what we will do is we will use a color like brown or black. So this basic palette does have brown and black, and it even has a deep purple. But if you need a reminder on how to make brown, it is just mixing your primary colors, so blue, yellow, and red. You mix them together, and you'll get different shades of brown. So this one was from our last experiment. Um, Depending on how much of the color you put in, will give you a different shade of brown. So let me show you this demonstration again. So what I'm going to do is just dip my brush into some water and then put it onto some of my plastic cover. Okay. Then I'm going to take blue. I'm going to take a lot of blue on my brush and lay it down. Okay. Then I'm going to clean my brush with some water and I'm going to grab some red. Now, blue and red make purple. And that is the color that we have. We have this violety color. Okay. Now I'm going to clean my brush one more time, making sure it's clean, because this time I will dip into my yellow. Okay. And now this is the brown that we are left with. Notice how it's different than this one. This one we used more red. This one we used more yellow. Okay. So now let me clean off my brush to show you a comparison. This is the pre-made brown. And this is how it compares. So you can see that they have different values. Now, with that being said, I'll bring back my painting. I'm going to clean my brush off, or you can use a new one. I'll see if I have any smaller brushes. I would avoid using something big. Try to go for something smaller because these lines are pretty small to get to color. Let's see if I have something smaller. This one is still pretty big, but I feel confident enough to color. I'll just dip my brush into some brown. And very lightly and gently. Straight lines are important. Just taking our time. Now your painting will look far more cleaner and crispy, just sharp, compared to mine. Mine has a lot of washed out pencil lead because I did not erase um, my sketch marks. All right, and now you can see that slowly but surely our painting is coming along. Little by little, pieces are being put together, and it's making it more coherent. And you can understand what it is that is going on in this painting. Doing something with clean lines, I would recommend that you don't have a lot of water on your brush, um, because it can make that line less defined. So you can see right here how that line lost its thickness. Now I just realized that um, this line right here should not be there. So what I'm going to do is fix that up. And I'm going to go with my blue brush too much color. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to finish the top half of your bridge, and see if there are any other corrections that you would like to make before we move on. I will go for a quick water break, and then I will be back. All right, we are continuing. So what we have now is just a couple of things to complete. We will finish up the shoreline and then the reflection of the bridge. So for the reflection of the bridge, it's not brown, it's a blue, but it's not the same blue as our lake. So what we will do is we will make it a little bit darker. We will still use blue, but just a darker blue than our lake. Okay, so that's too dark. It's looking good. Slowly coming together. All right. And we are moving on to those trees at the bottom. And those trees are just a very dark brown. A lot of thin lines. And this little island is a dark green. So my green on camera is showing up as blue, but it is a dark green. All right, a couple more things to finish up and then we're done. All right, with roughly 30 minutes remaining, let us finish the last parts of our painting. So I will clean up the brush. Also, make sure you throw out the water. This water is too dirty to clean the brush. Um, it will start to, mess with the color that you put on the paper. So if I'm dipping my paintbrush into this water, um, and then dipping it into some color, it's going to have a little bit of a brown undertone in it. So using clean water is always the best option. So when you can um, use clean water, please do. All right. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to color those trees in the background. They are also going to be dark green. Then we are going to color in that dirt road, and we're going to use a very light brown, almost sandy and yellow in color. All right. Then we are also going to use another type of brown, but this time for a piece of land on the shore. All right, now we are going to add the finishing touches to our painting, but I'll allow you to catch up very quickly as we have 16 more minutes left.
Hello, teacher. Hello. The sun is the cover in the picture. I didn't see.
There's what?
Yeah,
Sorry?
yeah. Okay, you take it out. Okay, I see.
Now, the last couple of things that we can do is we can go ahead and color in the background. It is the same shade of green that we used for this one right there. So grab a clean brush. Make sure the landscape has some water on it. All right, we are almost complete with our scene. Now we just have the house and we have the tree. And we'll go in with the leftover brown that we had and finish up the tree. And now your image, your painting would look far more cleaner because you won't have those pencil lines that are very harsh and messy. But again, just to show you what I'm coloring in, um, they have to stay on there. And lastly, what we'll do is we will color in that house and we will use a deep brown, almost black color. And just like that, our simple landscape painting is complete. It's very basic, there's not much detail into it, but we will progress and advance further um, once our classes go on. With that being said, um, I would like to see if any of you have finished your paintings, just so I can get a sense of how far you guys got along in this lesson. So if you have your painting, I would like to see it. No pressure if you don't have it.
Did you see?
I can't see it. It's a little blurry. Let's see.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's about landscape. Mhm. It's about my screen. I did this one, Laura. How to call it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
While everybody finishes up, for our next class, we're gonna pause the painting, and what we will do is we will go into pencil colors. So just just these ones. So if you have any of these, I would highly recommend that you bring them out for our next class. Any brand works. It doesn't matter what brand it is, as long as they're just pencil colors. What we will be doing is creating our own gemstones. So the materials for next class are just the pencil and eraser and um, pencil colors and paper.
Hello, Farah. Next Monday
Hello.
is Thanksgiving Day, so we don't
Oh,
have class, right?
next Monday. Yeah, the 13th is, let's see what it is. Um, Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, if the 13th, which is next Monday, is Thanksgiving, then we would not have class. It would be the next Monday. So let me just double check the calendar.
We will still about watercolor pencil.
Oh, we're going to pause the, we're not going to do this for the next lesson. We're just going to be drawing with pencil colors. So let me see, where is, okay,
Yeah, I know.
where is Thanksgiving? Hmm. So yeah, so next Monday, the 13th, there is no class because it's Thanksgiving. So our next class would be,
20.
it would be the 20th.
20. 20, yes. October 20.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you, Farah.
You're welcome.
Au revoir. Bye bye.
Bye.
À bientôt.
I will see you guys on the 20th.